So I am going to start my recording, guys. We just watched that cartoon about the 6 blind men and the elephant, and they all touched a different part of the elephant, so they all had a different opinion on what the elephant was. How could that possibly relate to what we're talking about with writing? Leah.
Because you put the parts together to find out what the writing thing is.
Right, you got to put all the parts together to give us the big picture. So if you guys turn to, and if you were at home and you're not sure exactly what I'm looking at, I have our writing paper we started the other day about formal and informal writing. The next part we're going to talk about with formal and informal writing, especially with this formal part, is reading for a wide view of a topic. Obviously, an elephant is pretty wide. A journalist has a job. A person who's in charge of writing articles, like these people that you're reading about with this research. And their job is to give readers a complete view of the topic. That means mentioning both sides of an issue and staging as unbiased an opinion as possible, meaning they don't favor one side or the other. What information do you think you'll need to give readers so that they have the most complete view of your topic? So, right now I want you to write at the top, consider. What patterns do I notice? So consider, what patterns do you notice? What keeps coming up as you're reading articles? What keeps coming up as you're researching? What arguments are you seeing? What benefits are you seeing? What basic information do other authors feel the need to keep telling you? And the other thing to consider is, what are the important things, the important overall things, I should say, overall things to say. So what is the most important information you need to consider when you're thinking about your topic? What are the most important things overall you should consider when you're thinking about your topic?
Are we going to have to write in the elephant?
In the elephant?
Yeah.
No.
Outside the elephant?
Yes.
Okay, but
And then what I'm going to have you guys do for me is draw a box in the bottom corner. You can choose either corner. I'm just going to choose this corner. Just like that. And when you got all those 2 things in that box written, I'm going to have you look up for a second, and I'll know you're ready to look at me to see what we're going to do with this paper next. What patterns do I notice? What are important overall things to say? What patterns do I notice? What are important overall things to say? Okay. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to brainstorm. I'm going to show you what that brainstorming is going to look like on mine, and then I'm going to set you guys loose to do some brainstorming on your own. So our topic, or my topic that we've been using as our model, is GMOs. I'm just going to write it there. You don't have to write your topic on your elephant if you want. you should be pretty well versed in it. But I'm just going to write mine there to remind us. So the first thing I need to consider is what patterns have I been noticing as I've been reading all of these articles. I've been noticing that GMOs deal with changing genes. And I don't mean like changing your blue genes because they're dirty. I mean changing the genetic makeup. So I just put a little like dash off the elephant and I put that there. I've also noticed that GMOs are controversial, meaning people argue about it. Another thing I've noticed is many of the articles explain, yeah, you don't have to write this, what a GMO, oh my goodness, is. I've noticed a lot of articles talking about actually, I'm going to stop there with the patterns I've noticed. What are some of the important things overall that I've also seen that maybe I'm not seeing over and over, but I know in order to give my reader a very whole picture of GMOs, what else do I need to include? I need to make sure I include that GMO haters are serious. Like they're harsh with their laws. I need to make sure that I say that there's different kinds. My sister-in-law, yeah. There's different kinds of GMOs. I need to say that GMOs can increase the food supply. I need to make sure I mention that GMOs are treated differently in other countries. I could probably go on with a couple others, but that's where I'm going to stop for just a second. So you guys are going to take some time right now, and I just want you writing down what are some things that you need to make sure you teach your readers about GMOs. So take some time right now and just, not GMOs, I'm sorry, about your topic. Yeah. So bullying, atomic bombs, child labor, immigration, zoos, whatever topic you're researching, the same one you wrote about on this side, what would you need to make sure you taught your reader about that topic? I'm going to give you about 4 minutes just to jot down some ideas now. You don't have to get all your ideas. I just want you to get started, and then we're going to do one other thing with it before I set you loose again. Write it in the box. Do not write in the box. Write it around the elephant like I did. The idea is these are the parts to the elephant that you would have to tell in order for your reader to understand the whole big picture of your topic. What would you definitely need to include? Look, what do you keep seeing coming up in your article? Yeah, patterns, guys, is just like things you keep seeing. That repetition makes it kind of, maybe it might be an important thing to notice. If you're watching this at home, you could probably fast forward, and I'll like put my hand over it like this so you'll know when to stop. I'm not talking to you. Where's your writing? If you guys don't feel like you're seeing patterns, like there's not the same things being repeated, then jump to that next question. What are some things that a person would need to know? What are all the things someone would need to know to understand your topic?
I think I might have not written up there, because I'm gonna
Where's your writing? Ashton, where's your packet? Get it. Thank you. I'm looking around. It looks like a lot of you guys have a good start. If not, you have time. You're going to have time to go back and add to this as well. But I want to give you guys a possible thing to be thinking of. When you're getting ready to start making a plan for your writing, there's 4 things you need to make sure you're including. So at the outside of this box, I'm going to write optional, meaning you don't have to use this, but I'm just using this as an example. And you're more than welcome to use this. Optional plan. So tomorrow, when we sit down and we start thinking, what is my actual writing going to look like? Here's what you could use to help you start your writing. When you start off formal writing about a topic, you're always going to want to start off, not necessarily with an intro, but beginning with giving it the reader the basic ideas of a topic. That means you're going to teach them what is a GMO, like I would teach them, what is a GMO? Where do we use GMOs? What does genetically engineering something mean? Give them those basic, what are those things? What are genes? What are traits? So start off by giving your reader the basic ideas of a topic. This could look like an introduction if you wanted to. The other thing you're going to want to give is to tell the different points of view. So you're going to want to tell them, people are on board with GMOs because of X, Y, and Z. Nathaniel, are you taking these notes? you're also going to tell them people aren't on board with GMOs because of X, Y, and Z. Because your job when you're informing is not to persuade. You're not trying to convince someone to be like-minded with you. You're trying to give someone all of the information so they can form their opinions. You are teaching them about a topic. You're going to explain what is generally, agreed upon. So in the situation with GMOs, it's generally agreed upon that, yes, we could make food that survives in drier climates. Yes, we could make crops that last longer. Yes, we could make food that grows bigger. That's not a debatable topic. Like, it's not debatable that we could do these things. That's not what people are disagreeing about. So what is it that everyone can agree upon with the topic? Is it directly related to this?
That we can make some of them like make the GMOs.
Right. So protesters of GMOs aren't protesting that these things can happen. They're protesting something else. They're protesting the safety of them. Which will bring us to my last point, is to explain why people argue over it. So this is where a lot of people are getting stuck at. Explaining why people argue over it. And we'll talk about it a little bit tomorrow too, but it's because when we first start reading, we start to form our own opinions, and we have a harder time seeing where the argument or the debate comes into play. In a perfect world, when I originally planned this lesson, we were going to have time to kind of get a little bit more independent research done. We would have been done with our actual topics, like that link, that doc you have. You would have been done with those and starting new research. But life has happened to me, and so we're a little bit behind where I wanted us to be. And since the internet's not cooperating today, we're going to go ahead and stop this here. Do not respond, because I'm going to say something else. If you are watching from home, your job is to go ahead and make sure you are finished with your research of your topics online.